How's it going, everybody? Thanks for watching another video. So tonight I've got 6 of Spyderco's most popular knives that are $100 and under, and I'm going to show you how to pick the best one. As always, guys, if you want to purchase any of the knives in this video, make sure you check the links in the description below. So if you're new to Spyderco, or if you have a few of their knives, you already know that when you're looking at that catalog, how incredibly frustrating it can be to pick a knife. And that is a great problem to have. Spyderco really lets you micro dial down exactly what you want in your knife. They've got older models, they've got newer models, they've got older models with newer steel, different color handles, different blade shapes, different locks, all of it at different price points, and it can be mind-numbing. So here's some tips to try to help you figure out what model you might want. So to help me narrow down my decision between all of Spyderco's knives, I have 3 requirements. The first one being, it can't be longer than a pen, can't be thicker than a chopstick, and it can't weigh more than a deck of cards. Let's see which one of these 6 knives is going to win. Here we go, guys. 6 Spyderco knives. 6 knives enter, only 1 leaves. There can only be 1. Congratulations to anybody who can name those 2 movie references I just did. But as you can tell on the table, if that wasn't orange and that wasn't made out of G10, they would all look exactly the same. So how do you choose? How do you get it down to just 1? Well, like I mentioned before, we're going to use a Sharpie, some chopsticks, and a deck of cards. Let's get it going. Okay, to start off with, I think it's more than fair to break these up by family. So we're going to take out the 2 tenacious knives. This is the G10 version, and this is the lightweight version. So we'll pull those out. I don't have any paras on the table other than the para 3, so we will remove that from the pile and just concentrate on the Delica, the Indela, and the Endura. Let's start here. Starting with the Sharpie check. I don't want it to be any longer than a Sharpie, so we can see that the Delica and the Indela fit just perfectly. But what about the Endura down here? This thing is kind of long. You know what? It makes it. So all of these 3 pass the test. Let's bring it in with the chopstick. Remember, no thicker than a chopstick or 2 chopsticks that are unbroken. So let's get the Delica. That looks perfect. That might be actually thinner. That totally disappears behind that. Indela, that's probably perfectly sized too. That covers it. And on to the Endura. Perfect. Chopstick test, good. So weight-wise, I want to make sure it stays around the weight of a deck of cards. Now, without the box, it weighs right about 3.2, but I'm willing to extend it to 3.4. So let's start with the Delica. Easily 2.3. Indela, 3.1. That's good. Endura, 3.7. All right, there goes the Endura. All right, let's bring in the crowd favorite in my opinion, because you get so much knife for your money. We got the G10 version, that's around 50 bucks, and then the FRN version, the lightweight version, that runs just about 45 bucks. Let's see the size here. These are the same length, so if one passes, the other one will. So definitely well within the Sharpie. Thickness test. Okay. Ooh, that's really close. But, I don't know. You can kind of see around it. Is that a little bit thinner? That might be a little bit thinner. Ooh, just making it. Let's try that again. Back to the G10 version. Put that right on there. I don't know, guys. That looks a little bit big, but I'm going to give it a pass. All right, remember, we want to keep it right around 3.2 to 3.4 ounces, right around a deck of cards. Oh, that's the lightweight version. So there's no way that the G10 version is going to make it. Yeah, no way. So unfortunately, even though the Tenacious is a great deal and you get a lot of knife for your money, these are gone. That brings us to the Para 3. So that, I guarantee you that's going to be inside of the Sharpie pen. So that passes with flying colors. Let's get that thickness checked real quick. Oh, definitely. Covered. So the Para 3 is about the size of a Delica, so it's going to be around the same weight. Yeah, 2.4. Remember, the Delica was 2.3, so easily lighter than the deck of cards. All right, that leaves us with the Para 3. Oh, that's going to be tough to beat. The Delica 4, ugh, my favorite. And the Indela, just, oh, that might be perfect size too. Let's have a closer look at these. All right, just as before, we're going to take out the Para 3 and concentrate on getting it down to one of these two from the Delica family. Guys, these knives are almost exactly the same. The only difference is the size. This is $80, that's $85. What this is going to come down to, I guess, is can you see a $5 difference in between the Delica and the Indela? It's the same texturing on the handles, same steel, VG10, same blade shape. You got jimping on the thumb ramp and on the frame itself. Mid-lock back, really convenient for finding it. It's got that little ditch cut out in it. It's going to come down to feel, and it really is. And I've never had a problem with what the Delica felt like. But when the Indela came out, oh man, for $5 more, you potentially have a knife that can do more for $5 more. And it does feel a little bit better in the hand. This was 3.1 ounces versus 2.3. Very minimal difference in the pocket. I don't know, guys. I think I'm going to have to give it to the Indela. Alright, that leaves us with the $85 Indela, which is the larger knife, versus the smaller knife, the Para 3, which is $90. So $5 more. Now, before moving on, if you like the Delica, you are really going to love the Indela. It's a little bit larger. It's $5 more, but you pick up a lot of more knife, and you hardly even feel the weight difference. So if you're thinking about bleeding up from the Delica 4, that's a good one. Let's have a closer look at the Para 3. One of the first things you're going to notice is this beautiful wire clip. Look how deep that's going to sit there. And you can switch it to the left side, but it's only tip-up carry. But look how deep that gets compared to the Indela. And still, this is a great clip, but it's going to stop right about there. But if you're into like fully ambidextrous clips, then the Para 3 is not going to work for you, because the Indela just has holes all over the place. You can carry it left and right-handed, tip up, tip down. But for me, that's not a deal breaker. Another difference is the frame on here. So they both have the same FRN frames with the same kind of bidirectional texture, but for some reason the Para 3 feels a little bit more slippery, and there is no lining on the inside, so it sounds a little bit plasticky. Compared to the Indela, the texturing just feels way more aggressive, and there is lining on the inside. You can see it right down in there. So I don't know, the Para 3 does feel a little bit cheaper. Originally I thought that was going to bother me, but you know what? It does help with saving weight. It's going to be 2.4 ounces versus 3.1. Alright, on to the two last major differences between these two knives. The first one is the locking mechanism. So the Para 3 has a compression lock. Basically what it is, it's a liner lock on the top of the knife, and what that allows you to do is close it with one hand. Very safe. And even if by chance, if you forget to move your fingers, or you're just more comfortable with closing it like this, guess what? That front finger choil right here is going to stop it. Guys, that is so comfortable up close. Indela, Delica, Endura doesn't have that, so that is a big plus there. One last thing about the compression lock. Because there are no springs in here, it closes very easy, and it's really smooth. The action is so smooth compared to any type of system with a lock back in here. It's basically on spring tensions. You can see as you're moving it, that bar is rising there, so there's a lot of resistance. So if you're into smooth action, the Para 3, oh, is going to be the winner. And lastly, let's talk about the blade. So this is a clip point versus the drop point that you get with the Indela. I love the way that looks. But what I really want to show you is that upgraded steel right there. BD1N upgraded. Let me show you why. So this is the smaller knife. Here is the Indela, the larger knife. Look at the difference in thickness. So crazy. And for those of you that are into it, so here we go. Golden, Colorado, USA, Earth. Not just a few continents, but the entire Earth. So the Para 3, made in the USA. Indela, Seki, Japan. So we're talking about an $85 knife. That's $5 cheaper. That's bigger. You can probably get harder work done with this. Versus a smaller knife that's $5 more with upgraded steel. You get a finger choil up front. You get a better locking system that's safer. Lets you close it with one hand. And I think the grip is also more comfortable. Look at the thickness you get right here and that nice palm swell versus a really thin area and a kind of mediocre palm swell down here. I think in total, for the $5 more, even though it's a little bit smaller, I'm going to have to go with the Para 3 as the winner. Well, alright guys, once again, the Para 3. And remember, if you can afford to buy more than one, fantastic. But I think if you just had to buy one out of those 6, this would be the best one. Guys, that's the ending of the video. Remember, if you want to purchase any of the knives in this video, make sure you check the links in the description below. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, please give it the thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to Chemo365, please do. And remember, I'll catch you guys laters.